I wanted to share with you my favorite type of design. I'm doing this for a couple of reasons. Number one, I think it will be interesting to look back on and see how my opinions about design change. And I also think it might provide some inspiration to designers or people, watching this who want to find something interesting to make. So, as a designer, I notice things that people typically don't see, and I really enjoy, like, for example, I really enjoy looking at how words are arranged on a page rather than actually reading the words. I know it's weird, but this video is going to include my favorite types of designs, and this is just all of this is my opinion. Okay, opinions are weird. I can like one thing for one reason and then dislike something very similar for the exact same reasons. And so I don't hold too strongly to these preferences. I like what I like. I don't have much of an explanation for them. And my opinions will probably change in the future because guess what? Humans change. I know it's weird to say on the internet. Let's get started. And this picture kind of sums up my favorite type of design. Very simple, very stripped back, very minimalist. So in this layout, we have a picture, we have a headline, and we have a block of text. It's not a big block of text. It's just enough to explain what's going on here. And ultimately, this is what it comes down to, is only including what's necessary, and that includes with the words. I hate reading blocks of text that are fluffy and they drag on too long. Get to the point, make it concise, like so that we can move on. So my favorite type of design shows a picture, it explains a picture with just a little bit of wording, and then it moves on. Honestly, I need to work on this because I drone on too much. Welcome to my dirty mouse pad. This thing is super old. But anyways, in this book, The Fundamentals of Creative Design, the authors share a bunch of examples to reinforce the fundamentals that they're teaching. And one of those is this layout right here for the Royal Society of Arts. I think it's some kind of charity. Never heard of it before, but the layouts here is what I want to look at because they are so simple yet very elegant and beautiful, and that simplicity is what I'm drawn to. So, for example, this spread here is the table of contents for the report. This is an annual report, but this red lectures word provides some interest as well as this picture with a cup, and then we have just very neatly arranged columns for the table of contents. And then moving over here, just taking a look at the spread in general. Look at how simple it is. There's so few elements, and honestly, there's so few words even. We have this big page, but only 2 paragraphs of text. And that's kind of what I really like. I like a simple spread with only the information that you need. Now, I don't consider myself a minimalist, but I do love this type of layout because it's simple, it's easy to follow, and you're still presenting the information that people need to know. So I was at a bookstore and I saw this picture book that was like the history of the 1900s or the 20th century or something like that. And I was flipping through it and found some very interesting layouts. And this also sums up what I like about design. We have a picture, we have a chapter heading, and then a little bit of an explanation of what it's about. It's super simple. This amount of words is like actually approachable and able to read. And to me, having less words speaks to the quality of the writer because they're able to communicate a lot of ideas or a lot of information in less words, which is awesome. Here's another layout from that same book. It's the same thing, just mostly pictures, but we have good spacing. We have white space. We have extra blocks of text to describe the picture, and then we have captions here as well. So I just like that type of thing. Here is a book that I came across that is purely text, and this is layout. Now, I have a fascination with layout or editorial design, and this is just like the arrangement of words on a page. And to me, this is like so beautiful. I know that sounds weird, but we have so many interesting elements here. We have the chapter like heading or a quote that kind of prefaces everything, a little emphasis marker up here, and then the author, who it's written to, and then we have a separator here with a drop cap and highlighted words. Like there's just so much here that is interesting to me. Same with like the arrangement. These are all justified columns of text, and the spacing of the words in between it is like really well done. And I'm not going to drone on too much about it, but it's a really nice, beautiful piece of layout design. Now, let's talk about advertisements, because as a designer, I think about advertising a lot. And this is my favorite type of like advertising because it is confident, it is simple, it features what is most important, which is the product. So Rolex is the king of this, crown king, and where they just show the watch and they have their little, I don't remember the word, their motto or their slogan, and they tell you what type of watch it is. And there's just very few elements on here, but it's only the information that you need. It's so simple and it's so straightforward, but it shows you and tells you exactly what you need to know. And so same thing with this lens advertisement over here. It shows you that there's a new lens. If you want the lens, you know where to find it. And so this type of design to me speaks that it's very confident. They are confident in the product, they're confident in their brand, they're confident in their ability to get business. When an advertisement has too many elements and they're trying to explain every single aspect of the product, to me it comes across as insecure. Like you don't have confidence in your product or your service, and so you're like trying to put everything on the advertisement to convince the person to use your thing. But this type of design doesn't do that. Now the thing about this type of design is you'd think it's actually really easy, right? Because there's so few elements, there's so little that you actually need to do. In a way, it's more tricky because when you have so few elements, the elements that you do have matter so much more. It's so much more important how you position them and where you place them and the sizing and the spacing. So the elements matter a whole lot more. So I wanted to showcase some of the designs I don't like before showing more examples of my favorite types of design. And the thing about this too is the designs themselves are fine. Like they're well designed. I don't have any issue with them, like technically speaking, because they are very competently designed. They're well done. I just don't like it. I'm not a fan. And if you look at these, they are very different from the examples that I've been showing. It is much louder. There's a lot more elements. There's more colors to it. But that's not why I don't like it. There's a lot more going on here. There's a lot more elements, but I don't feel like the designs are better because it has more elements. But here's the thing, this is my opinion. These are well-designed posters for their use case. I'm just personally not the type of person to enjoy this type of design, and that's okay. Like this weird edge where it cuts off the photo and then goes up. I mean, it matches with this line here, but then I don't understand why there's a cutoff there. And then you have text overlapping text, which makes readability problems. To me, it just seems random. Like there's a girl who's blue and then a random sunflower that's posterized red and yellow. A random butterfly with a girl who's like got chromatic aberration, split toning type of thing. And then there's more overlapping text and crazy shapes and what is this picture supposed to be about? And so ultimately when I look at a lot of these types of designs, it feels so pointless. All of the elements that are on here, it's just like throwing random assets at it because you have them, not because you need it, but because you just don't know what else to do. Again, this is my opinion. These have a purpose for why they were designed, and they're fine for that purpose. It's just not my style. Here's a couple more designs from the book. Again, in terms of a technical perspective, these are all fine, but looking over here, it's a big jumbled mess of words, and it's just not my style. I don't prefer this style. It's not bad, and if you like this, that's fine. Like seriously. Now, if I were to attach some type of reason as to why I don't like this type of busy, chaotic art style, maybe it would be because I feel like life and the world is already so chaotic that I don't want to see that in my design. This type of thing, I can feel a tightness in my chest of like a rush or an anxiety or like some type of just a stress that comes with looking at these types of designs. With something like this, it's so calming. It's so peaceful to me. It's like the design is asking me to slow down and take in the few elements that are here. Versus this tries to overload the senses so you don't even know where to begin. And it's almost like it's almost like you're not supposed to read this. And it's just supposed to look chaotic on the wall. Again, the designer who did these did a good job. They serve its purpose. just not my style. Here's just a couple more pieces of design that I really like. The common theme here is white space. There's so much white space in between all of the elements, and it's really simple and really beautiful and clean, readable text, beautiful photography, beautiful typography. It tickles that part of my brain that is really satisfying. Designs like these, like, it's weird to say, but they calm me down. I feel like they actively slow my heart rate compared to the designs I showed you from the book a couple seconds ago. They like actively make my heart beat faster, and just from sitting there looking at it. Now that's probably because I'm a designer and I'm a freak like that, but this type of thing matters, and design has the ability to do that. And so I like this stuff because it encourages me to slow down, take in the surroundings, and enjoy life a little bit. That's kind of the philosophy behind it. It's kind of stupid, but this is my favorite type of design. These are the types of designs that guide my thinking and my visual language when I'm creating. And so I'm going to be designing more pieces like this in the future. So thank you for watching. Peace out.